going into the question of what is jizya and how that relates to zakat, whatever that may be, and because in the West, of course, jizya is seen as I don't know, an unjust imposition of some terrible financial penalty for simply being Christian. I had this conversation an hour ago with a young guy, I would say who he is, but he's in a French school here, and that's what he understood jizya was. Actually, it was a punishment for Christians and Jews, a financial penalty. That's what he said. Now, this guy is being taught in French schools as we speak, and he's got that idea in his head. Anyway, that's a different subject. But what is the truth about jizya? What's the real deal about it?
Jizya is a tax which the non-Muslims pay living within the domain of Islam. And Muslims also pay a tax, but it is not called jizya. It is called zakat, which is compulsory tax for the Muslims. Muslims must pay 2.5% of their savings to the state for the state to distribute that money among the poor. With regards to jizya, jizya is a fixed amount. It varies between one gold coin weighing 4 grams of gold to 4 gold coins. So a gold coin, looking at the Islamic history, would be called dinar. A dinar was about 4 grams of gold, which is in current value, it would be something like maybe 200 pounds, something like 200 pounds in current value. So a rich Jew or Christian or a Zoroastrian would pay about 200 pounds a year towards the state for basically as a citizen. He would contribute that towards the state as a citizen, and in return the state takes full responsibility for protecting his rights, for protecting his life, his family, as we have already highlighted. So the amount varies between 1 to 4 dinars. It cannot exceed that, Islamically speaking, although some rulers may have exceeded the amount, and this extra amount cannot be Islamic. It cannot be regarded Islamic, even by the scholars of Islam. So there is a limited amount. So the middle class Jews and Christians, they would pay something like 24 silver coins. And people who are doing hard labor, they would be paying 12 silver coins a year, which is like 12 pounds, equivalent to 12 pounds a year, right? So those people who claim that jizya was extortionate, jizya was astronomical, jizya broke backs of the non-Muslims, these are all, again, misconceptions spread throughout centuries, and they still survive, unfortunately. But if anyone was to study jizya carefully, idealistically speaking, Islamically speaking, jizya cannot exceed more than 4 gold coins per year for the rich. And that's where it is capped. It can, while Muslims, if there is a Muslim, for example, who has £1 million in his bank account, he would pay 25,000 pounds on that, because that's 2.5%. But if a Jewish man has £1 million in his bank account, he would be paying 4 gold coins, which is like 800 pounds a year. That's it. No one, Islamically, legally speaking, can ask him to pay extra, and the Jewish man can go to the Muslim court and complain if he's asked to give extra. And this has happened, Islamically speaking, in history. In fact, there is a famous case when people went to complain to scholars because of heavy taxation on the part of the Muslim rulers. This happened in Syria during the Mongol invasions, when Sultan Baybars had imposed heavy taxation on the Muslims and the non-Muslims to defend against the Mongols. Although he had valid reasons to raise taxation, Izz bin Abdul Salam was a scholar alive in Egypt at the time. He gave a fatwa to undo the decree of the ruler. So the rulers must abide by the law of Islam, and if they are breaking the law using power and influence, then they are doing wrong. Ideally, Islamic law doesn't allow more than what is stipulated in the law.